Welcome everybody. We're super excited today to be celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. My name is Representative Mary Gonzalez and I represent eastern part of El Paso County in Texas. I've been a state representative now for 8 years, where I work on trying to make the world a better place and tackling racism and sexism and heterosexism and classism and ableism and all the isms in a really intersectional way. And really excited about today's conversation because these conversations are key to us really thinking critically about what these months symbolize. It's more than just thinking about great Latino culture and food, but what are our experiences like as a people? And so today we're going to hear from some students who are doing some great work in their local communities. And so students, I'm going to ask you some questions. Feel free to jump in whenever you want. And will you, when you jump in, tell us your name and where you're from and maybe a little bit about yourself before you start answering. Fair? Wonderful. So excited you're here today. So we're just going to jump into it. What does Hispanic Heritage, Latino Heritage, Latinx Heritage Month mean to you? And why do you think we should be having today's conversation? No, not everybody at once now. I'll pick somebody. There we go, Liz. I saw you take your mic off.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so for me, I think Hispanic and Latinx. Oh, so I'm Liz. I am from Washington State, and something about me is I live in a town that has called itself the apple capital of the world. So we have a lot of apples and other fruits out here. One thing, when I think of Hispanic or like Latinx Heritage Month, I think of the collective experience we kind of share as people who come from like Latin America, who have had that history of like violence, of also like mixing and different cultures coming together to really make us a really diverse group. And I know it's not like always possible to clump us up all together, or we shouldn't try to, but I think of trying to uplift those differences and how cool Latin America is.
Thanks, Liz. Kaylee, yes? I see you shaking your head. Do you want to jump on in?
I'm Keely Guerrero from Los Angeles, California. And what was the question again? I'm sorry.
Why is Latinx, Hispanic, Latino, Latina, Chicano Heritage Month important, and what does it mean to you? Why should we be having these conversations?
It's important to me because I feel like people should really know more about people that come from Mexico. And this is just a day or a month to celebrate us being us.
Wonderful. Anybody else want to jump on in?
Hi, my name is Marcy Paxian. I'm from Royal City, Washington. Something about me is I'm a senior this year, and it's kind of been crazy with COVID and everything, but Hispanic heritage to me, it means celebrating not just Mexican culture, but like also all the different countries that there are in like all the Hispanic cultures, not just from Mexico. But that's important to me because I feel like it's something that isn't talked about much in school, especially in school. Like they teach a small part of our history, and I think there's a whole like big part that needs to be uncovered, and it hasn't yet been. So I think it's important for all of us to learn.
I totally agree. Samantha, I see you shaking your head.
Hello. My name is Samantha Loya, and I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada. And I think that Hispanic Heritage Month is very important to celebrate, as Marcy said, because it's not talked about in school. And I believe that even if it's just a little month, it still means something, that people actually acknowledge that not just Americans exist, but also different cultures like Latinos, which a lot of people fit into that category, whatever you want to identify yourself as. it's very important that that comes to the light, because for many years the tradition has been that we don't really matter as much as others, but now we should all be equal, and I think people are starting to see that more, and that's very important.
Definitely, that this month is more than just recognizing our people, but our history and our struggle for rights, right? Our equity and equality. Anybody else? I see 3 other faces on here. Don't feel obligated, because I have lots of questions.
Hello, my name is Eros Aguilar, and I'm from Los Angeles, California. And one thing about myself is that I like soccer. And I think it's important for people to learn about Hispanic heritage, because we should all know a bit about different cultures, and they may be interested in learning more about it. So I think it's just very important.
Agreed. Wonderful. So we're going to go ahead and keep going. And Christian, Jasmine, if you want to jump in later. But so now that we're celebrating this month, who are your Latino, Latinx, Chicano, Hispanic role models? Who do you look up to?
Hi. Someone that I look up to is the representative from New York. I believe her name is Alessandra.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, AOC. Uh-huh.
She's an icon to me. Like when she stood up to Representative Yoko, like on TV and everything, and I saw that, and like what she was saying, it was true. And she said that she did that for her parents. She was up there because she was her parents' daughter, and how that just because because he called her that, and then he was denying it, that he would never say that because he has daughters, and how she said just because you have daughters, it doesn't justify you saying that. That he would never say that. And so she's someone that I look up to a lot.
Wonderful answer, Marcy. Thank you. Who else?
Someone that I look up to is Frida Kahlo, because I feel like her paintings inspire a lot of people, and like her paintings are like boundless, and I look up to that.
Oh, I love her paintings. So powerful.
Well, I think one hero to me was like Benito Juarez, because he was kind of like a poor orphan from a small town in Oaxaca, but eventually he became the president of Mexico, and he introduced very great values, and his motto was El respeto al derecho ajeno es la paz, which basically means that there is peace when you respect others.
That is so powerful, and it's from someone from El Paso. I really connect with that, because Juarez is on the other side of our border, and also Benito Juarez has a history of indigenous roots, and something we also need to talk about. Thank you so much. Who else? Anybody?
Someone
Okay, well,
I really
go Liz.
All right, I was gonna say 2 people I really look up to from like our history are Emma Teyanuca and then Emiliano Zapata. I think they did a lot of work to really help organize people and have shifted how we perceive ourselves, both in like Mexico for Emiliano Zapata and then in the US for Emma Teyanuca.
So I love that you're saying these names, but a lot of people don't know these names, right? Why do you think those names aren't being taught all the time in our classrooms?
I think it's something like what Marcy shared and Samantha shared earlier, where a lot of the times our history isn't what is being taught in schools, because it is mainly like white Anglo history that's taught in schools. And our history, especially that of like our ancestors, is not that, right? So our history is like the other side of what happened in response to those actions that were taken by white Anglo people. And a lot of the times I think there's still a lot of fear, and recognizing that there was a lot of other stories and realities faced in America during that time.
Very powerful words, Liz. Thank you. So what do you feel are the consequences? Oh, Kaylee, yes, go ahead.
I agree with everything that Liz said, and I would like to add on that I feel like what's being taught in schools is more, I don't want to be like, I guess, like stuff from America's past and not from other countries. And I feel like that's very important to learn.
Always, yes. And what do you feel are the consequences of us not knowing or us not institutionalizing diverse histories into our United States classrooms? What is the consequence of that?
Hi. I feel like one of the consequences of that is me personally. I feel that I'm too Hispanic or Mexican to be not necessarily hang out with Caucasian people, but also in Mexico they like tell me like, no, like you don't know anything, like, oh, you don't know this of like of our past, or you don't know this and stuff, and I'm like, no. And then I don't know, why didn't your parents teach you, or did you not learn in school, does your school not teach you this? And it's like I feel too, or not enough Mexican to be like to be with like them, because they don't like, I don't feel accepted in either world, because I'm not enough for both of them. And that's something that I think should really change. And it's going to take a lot of people to do that, though.
It's like the Selena reality, right? Too much of this, not too much of that. So thank you, Marcy, for sharing your truth and your words. See you, Kaylee. I know we had some new students join us. Feel free to jump in, but also if you don't have your camera on and you're a student, turn on your camera so we can see your face. Kaylee, I see you raise your hand. Jasmine, were you going to go next too? Yes? No? Okay. Go ahead, Kaylee.
I agree with everything that Marcy said. And I feel like the consequence would be that if we don't know about our heritage, then like, I guess we don't know like what our ancestors did, or what people in Mexico are doing right now.
Samantha?
I strongly agree with them, because there has been many cases where I go to other places with my family, and in Mexico specifically, because that's where I go. And it's very disappointing that people see us as different than them when we're the same. And it kind of really stings a little bit that people see you just because you don't know very much about it. Like, it's not our fault that the school system is kind of messed up and we won't learn about that. It's very disappointing that we are not accepted for who we are just because we're different. And I feel like all of us who are here who feel that we don't fit, we're like our own type of people, because if we're not accepted there and we're not accepted here, we're not going to be accepted anywhere besides in people who are like us. And it's very important that we learn about it, because later people can be racist towards us for not knowing about the culture. And sometimes I've seen it before on social media where someone posts something very controversial and it's not very respectful to our culture, and they didn't know about it and they posted it. So it's kind of sad that people have to get attacked that way, even if they didn't know. Like, they didn't know. We should get taught about it more to minimize the amount of times that happens.
I completely agree. And so here's what I'm loving about this conversation. When I was your age, I didn't know half the names y'all are saying. And so, gosh, I'm super excited about our future. But let's, tell us, everybody who's watching, a little bit about some of the work you're doing as student leaders, students in your communities, trying to make the world, our communities, better places.
Hi again. What I'm doing personally is that I want to encourage people to be kind to each other. Like, don't judge people by the color of their skin or what they do. I think that we should all just be kind to one another.
Hi. Something that I personally, this is something that affects. Well, I don't know if you know how it was recently mental health like awareness, like week and stuff. Well, my brother's a counselor. He's high school counselor, so and he's a social worker, and so he sees like all these types of things. And something that isn't talked about, and then I wrote about this in one of my college essays, was the attention for mental health in like Hispanic homes, because personally, like my mom is just like, that's not real, that's not a real thing, and I'm just like, no, like lady, like it's a real thing, like there are people who actually suffer from it, it's like diagnosed, and you can say whatever you want about it, but you know it's a real thing. And so I like we started handing out at football games, we throw bracelets, we've like been wearing t-shirts, we've had people come in from like Project Hope, New Hope, we've had them come in and like talk about the importance of mental health and how it is to get help for it. And I'm part of the leadership class at school, and so this is something that we also with our counselors organize it. And because there was recently like a suicide at our school, and it affected like all of us, and so it's really important to get help if you need it. And so that's why it's okay not to be okay, you know.
Thank you, Marcy, for sharing your story, and thank you for the work you're doing to create awareness about mental health in the Latino community. Anyone else? What else are y'all doing to make the world a better place and our communities stronger? Samantha, I see you itching or you, Liz, go ahead, Liz. No, go Sam.
Let's go first. I'll go after. Okay, fine. I'll go, then you can go. Something that I'm doing is, before I could change the world or change anything, I'm gonna work on myself, because if I'm at my best, I can help them later change. And I'm working on becoming a better person and being nicer to people and accepting for who they are, and being their home, being the place that they can talk to and feel comfortable around, and just spill it all out if they have to. Or also another thing that I'm kind of nervous about is that I want to be a track athlete that is, so there's in the Olympics, there's a lot of I haven't really seen a lot of Latinos at the Olympics, so I want to see if I can make it there, and hopefully to represent that I can also do it, we can also do it, we can also be big, and we can also achieve big things like everyone else.
Thank you, Samantha. And I think, one of my favorite authors is Gloria Anzaldúa. If you ever read her, you should. She's a Chicana queer author, and she says, I changed myself, I changed the world. And when you said that, Sam, like I'm working on myself, I thought that was really like, that spoke to what she's written. Liz, I know you were next. What's going on in your world?
Yeah, I was going to say, one of the things I've been working on with Alianza, which is a youth program here in Washington, is with my peers, we've been working to get other young people our age and younger to go meet with people like you, Ms. Gonzalez, representatives, the people who work in government. One, so that we can meet them and know who these people are and where they stand on certain issues. And two, so that we can start to understand how the systems of the US are built and our relation to them. And then from there, try to mobilize and advocate for our communities and their needs.
What are some of the things you mobilize and advocate for when you meet with people like me, Liz?
Yeah, so one of the things is with students, young students especially, and undocumented students. There's a lot of needs that are being unmet, and a lot of the times it's because of policies or like the money and all that stuff. So we're trying to understand how we can, in Washington, like work towards supporting those people who oftentimes aren't seen, or oftentimes like keep being pushed to the side, like to the end of the agenda.
Jose Luis, you're from Texas, right? I'm from Texas. Where do you live in Texas, Jose Luis?
I live in the Valley.
Oh, in the Valley, and I hear you play music. So tell me, who is your favorite Latino, Latina Hispanic Latinx musician?
Well, I have several, but like if we were to talk about genres, I talk about mariachi.
Oh, you
'Cause
play mariachi music?
yes, I play mariachi music for my school, and we go to every community like event and we play for everyone, you know. We always try to help out, and that's what we do.
What does playing mariachi music mean to you?
To me, I mean, it's a way of like happiness and joy. Like you forget about all of your problems you ever had and you just focus on the music and enjoy.
I was a folklorico dancer my whole life, so I appreciate some good mariachi music. Emmanuel, you're
Yeah,
from Texas too, right? Where, the Valley? Do you play mariachi too? Yeah, what do you play?
I play the violin.
Oh, I play the violin. Oh, wonderful. Christian, where are you from, Christian?
I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Las Vegas, Nevada. Wonderful. And do you play an instrument? I see a guitar back there.
Yeah, I play a few. I play drums, piano, ukulele, and guitar.
Oh my gosh. Wow, look at all these talented, wonderful people. I can only play one instrument, not that well. So if you had to go around, we're going to do really quick. The number one thing you're proud of for the Latino community. One thing, what would it be? Eros, you're going to start.
Well, one thing I'm proud of my Latino community is how we're all unique and different from everybody else, and it sort of defines us and like separates us from the crowd.
Marcy.
One thing I'm proud of, or I don't know, it's our culture when it comes to food. I think we have the best food because it's hands down. I think we have the best food, and it's how there's different, all from Hispanic. Everyone makes everything different. Everyone from like Salvadorians or from Honduras, like everyone makes everything different. And I think that's what makes us come together and be unique in that aspect of like culture. But yeah.
Liz. Jose Luis, you're next. Get ready.
One of the things I'm proud of about our Hispanic or like Latinx heritage is our history, like even before countries were made and established. I think we have a lot of really cool history dating back to the indigenous people también.
Thanks, Liz. Jose Luis and Christian, you're next.
I think that like something that I'm very proud is that we never forget who we are and we're not ashamed of it. We're proud to be Latinos and we never try to be anything else. We just hard workers and never forget that. We never forget that.
Christian, and then Samantha.
Yeah, so one thing I'm definitely proud of is that we're all very like close together. So like we could be going out to school or like adults be going out to work or anything, and you see the neighbor in front of you and you say good morning, and then you start talking about what you're gonna do, and then like they invite you later in the day to come over and eat some carne asada or something. We're all very close, and we have fun all the time together and everything like that.
We have lots of love in our community. Samantha, then Kaylee, then Emmanuel.
I'm very proud of my culture because, as they all said, they kind of summed up what I was gonna say. We all stand together, and we're very cultural, and we will fight for equality, and we will do whatever it takes to show people that we're just as good as them, and that we're all equal, and that we're very good hard workers, and if you give us a chance, we'll show you that we can do that.
Thanks, Samantha. Kaylee?
I agree with what Marcy said. I think that Mexican food is the best food in my opinion. And I agree with what everyone has said, and I really agree with Liz's statement about our history. I love learning about our history and what what like our ancestors did, or what like for example like Frida Kahlo did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And last but not least, Emmanuel.
I would have to say I'm proud of how united our families are, of how like if one of us is in the hospital, we're all there, or how we all care for each other very much.
Definitely. Definitely not, but last not least, Jasmine, I'm glad you're here. What is your favorite thing about our culture, our history, our peoples? You're on mute, Jasmine.
I'm proud of my Hispanic culture because I like when we do holidays and we like, gather up with our family and celebrate and do stuff together. And that we're hard workers, we try hard, and we never give up.
Definitely. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you so much. So here's what I'm going to say. I'm so grateful to hear all your all's voices from all over the country. Even Marcy has to go to work, joined us today, all the way from my home state of Texas. Just really grateful for your words. So you're going to have a national platform to tell people about our Latino Hispanic culture. What is one thing, you told us what you love, but if you could tell people one thing that they should be paying attention to, that they should care about, that they should, if it's more than just caring about our food, right, or liking our music, that they should also be caring about our people, right? So what's one thing that you on the national platform want people to know? I see Kaylee, I see Samantha's hand, y'all go first.
I can go first if you want. I want people to know that Mexican culture, or let me say this again, that Mexican culture does not revolve around food, music, but mainly in family. I think that family is really key in like everything that we do.
Samantha?
Building off of what she said, yeah, family is everything in our culture, but people have been paying attention a lot to a lot of movements that have been happening, and that's really, really good. But I've noticed that not many people have noticed that the immigrants that are coming here to get a better life are being locked up in cages and being split from their families and taken back when they were trying to come here for good intentions. People don't go somewhere to ruin it. They go there to be better and to look for a better future, to make a change in their family, because they do that for their families, and for their families to be split apart and taken to the borders and being thrown in cages like animals, that not even animals should be treated like that. So I don't know why they're treating people like that and making them stay in the same spot. If you look at documentaries and if you look at all the places, there's been multiple people who have gotten injured, who have been needing medical assistance, and they don't notice it, they don't care. So that's just something I really want to use this opportunity as to talk about it so people can notice it.
Thank you, Samantha, for that powerful reality. Yes, like people who immigrate here immigrate because of social and political and economic reasons, and they're coming here to make their lives a better place. And so many of those people are y'all's age, right? And who deserve not to be treated like criminals, right? But really to be treated with humanity. So thank you for that. Who else?
I guess I'll go because
yeah, Christian.
But I totally agree with both of them, but I mostly agree with Katie because I'm Salvador, and I actually visited about I think it was like 5 months ago. We actually got stuck there because of quarantine, and I haven't been to El Salvador before that. But when we were there for about a month and a half, maybe 2 months. But when we were there, anytime, like I said before, anytime we got out like of the house and we would see someone down the street, like Kaylee said, family's important to us. And in El Salvador, you don't have to be family by blood to like to be friends, to talk, to eat together, to hang out, anything like that. I think that people should know that family is very important to us. And yeah, that's basically it.
Thank you, Christian. Anyone else? Emmanuel, and then Jose Luis. Oh, and then Marcy, I saw you. Go ahead, Emmanuel.
I would have to say I'm very proud that, like, I would want other people to know that we're the same. Like, there's nothing different from us and from them, but they treat us different because of our skin tone, and they shouldn't.
Oh, thank you, Emmanuel, for those powerful words. Jose Luis?
Like, I would want everyone to know, like, not just like other people besides Mexicans, like I would want Mexicans to know that to vote, you know, to make our voices be heard, to be part of a movement and make history, you know, because people, they think showing up to voting is like bad because they're from somewhere else, but I think it's pretty vital.
That's really powerful. Thanks, Jose Luis. Marcy, Eros, you're going to be last, okay?
I want to go off of what Samantha said, which is about immigrants. And I think everyone should have the right, if they don't like it somewhere, they should be able to go to another place for a better life. And there are people that are always going to tell you that that's not okay. And I watched a video that was like, I don't know why there are people that are here in this country, like they should leave this country, like it's bad and stuff. And then someone was like, oh, so you agree that if someone if they're here, they should have the right to go somewhere else because of like social, economic, racial like problems and stuff like that. But it shouldn't. There are more people. Okay, something that a lot of people assume is that all of the immigrants here are Mexican, and when that's not really the case. When sure, a lot of them do come because they live right below us, you know, and stuff. But a lot of other immigrants are also from Europe and Asia. There are some that come from Africa. We come from all over the world, and they just try to blame everything on us. And no, it's not just us. There are lots of movements that are getting started for us, and there are also people that are always going to tell you, go back to your country, you don't belong here, even if you just speak Spanish, which shouldn't be the case. And so I think we should not be as racist. There are people that can't see something that I know for African Americans is that people see their color as a weapon, and people see our language as a weapon. People see it as when we speak Spanish in public places, people will be like, speak English, you're in America, when there are people speak hundreds of thousands of languages, different languages, and why are we getting in trouble for speaking something that we were raised to be speaking? It's not my fault that you don't know this language, so they shouldn't be coming.
Yeah, we're a country of immigrants, right, Marcy? Thank you so much. Eros?
Well, I agree with that. We greatly value our family, but another thing I would say is for people to learn more about us and how we are and who we are, because usually there's many racist stereotypes about us, and people look to the stereotypes and then they define us by them, but they should really actually see who we are.
Thank you so much. I just want to say thank you for all of y'all for participating in our conversation to help people understand who we are as a people, our culture, our history, our realities, what's going on in current events, and how they can just do more than eat our food, but support our people and our language and all of it. So thank you. Jasmine, did you want to add a final thought or word?
Well, I agree with Samantha about immigrants, that they're treated differently from normal people, from America and people from Mexico. They treated like criminals, locked up in places, and they're separated from their families. and can't be able to see them because they're in different distance and places, and that's really sad and heartbreaking to me because they can't be with their families.
And especially when family is so important to us. Thank you, Jasmine. So I just want to say thank you for being on this call. If you ever need any help or support, I know you all are already doing amazing things in your community, but I'm here to help you continue that hard work to make sure that we are uplifting our Latino community. And whatever you do this month, the one thing you do this month to make our community stronger and more vibrant, encourage your friends to do it too, because we need more folks like y'all out there spreading the message of goodness and positivity and reclaiming our humanity and fighting against all the systems of injustice that exist, but in a positive way. So thank y'all. Continue playing all your music, dancing all your dances, eating all your food, and fighting for our people. Thank y'all.